Hey everybody, Mystic Eve here. I am in North Carolina, staying at this beautiful little camper in the middle of the woods, and it's lovely. It's the first time I've been here. I've worked with Melissa before. It's been a while doing my tattoos and being on tour. I've also realized with these trips, specifically the magic that I'm doing, my daily practice when I'm traveling has become enlightening, to say the least. So, this video is inspired by a sun worship ceremony that I did that really connected me with these mountains. One of my very, very first memories was a connection to Native American people and the ancient ancestors of the Southeast. We're a little bit north, but these mountains feel there was a lot of tears. They feel a lot. And being able to tap deeper into what the earth feels and what the sun sees, there's going to be tears. It's the strength to be able to hold on to that and to carry the weight that's really important in your practice. So what are the planets doing at the moment? I'm not going to go through all of them because it's not that kind of channel. But when I looked into what everybody was doing at the party, there's a few things that jumped out at me. One is that, of course, Venus not too long ago figured her shit out, and she's direct again, and she's in conjunction with Mars. Now, I always have my eye on the lovers, the young lovers, and their conjunction is that they're getting along and they're dancing together at the party, which is a beautiful sight. It's the perfect love story, right? When they get back together. So we have that going on. And, Mercury also just came out of retrograde. So, he went a little crazy, but now he's back on track. He's the DJ of the party. He keeps everything thumping, right? So the music got a little crazy there for a moment, but he's back on track. He's working his shit out. And one of the things that I noticed with him too is that he's sextile with Jupiter. Now, a sextile, when I figured this out, I laughed so hard. It has the word sex in it. These aspects are relationships, and a sextile is sexy. They are the energies, the light and the frequency and the vibration are emitting prana. They're having sex. So like the DJ goes direct, he starts getting his music on, and then he starts having sex with the boss, right? Jupiter, the big guy. He owns everything. So I feel that it's feeling good. He's also in conjunction with Pluto. So we've got the DJ having sex with the boss, getting his music back on track, and coming together with Pluto. Now, Pluto is one of my faves. He's a dwarf planet. He's the god of the underworld. He's wearing all black, which you can't really see if it's a guy or a girl, right? So he's gender fluid. And he's the one at the party that's, smoking the cigarettes and leaning up against the wall looking all mysterious. So he has come into the party and is dancing with the DJ. All super hot, super nice. It's feeling good. Everything's feeling great. Now, there are some squares. A square is one of those relationships where it's, you know, it's complicated. Chiron is another one of my faves. I mean, I love them all, and that's the point of figuring out. It's the point of coming back together with the stars and the planets and these vibrations and these gods. I mean, they've been called gods many times before. They're very beautiful and very powerful. Glowing balls in the universe, right? Dancing around the sun, right? The sun is who the party is for. And a square is an energy that is difficult to get through. It's a relationship that could use a little looking into. You learn a lot from them because they test your boundaries and they push you past your limits. And you learn from that, right? Even if it's really bad and you have to climb your way out of it. As a magician and as a spiritual seeker, we understand that swing is very important, and sometimes climbing out of a hole is what you need to do to experience and feel the feels, right? And experience the emotions. So Chiron is the shaman, right? He came in, and I did a whole video about him that I will try and remember to put the link below or above. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I'll put it somewhere. Chiron came into our solar system the month and the year that I was born, October 77. I wrote in journals of the past that I had memories of riding on like an asteroid or comet, or the way I described it was just because the consciousness was just I was in a rock in a hole flying through space. I rode in on Chiron. He's also named after a centaur. Whew, Chiron. Well, he's got some squares going on with the lovers, Venus and Mars. So as they're dancing around, you know, the shaman might look at this and have a hard time with it. You know, I think it's the feeling of when you're watching a love movie and it ends and you realize you're alone. You look around and you're like, you got your box of Kleenexes and you're wiping your eyes and you come back, right? You come out of the movie and you're just like, whoa, I'm all by myself. You know, that's kind of what I'm feeling from Chiron in this square. Love and prana is always in focus for me. And one of my deepest practices was really finding that self-love. And for me to be able to find this, I was able to look back at my love for the planets and astrology and this connection, this oneness. My Neptune happens to be in Sagittarius. This connection to universal oneness. So now we will look at the cards and see what they have to say. And the heater has kicked on, so I apologize for the audio. But it's cold, so I've been freezing. I hope that doesn't mess up the whole video. You know, it's those squares. Just kind of work through it. Be okay with it. Okay. Center. North, south, east, and west. All right. What is this about? What's in the center? The Eight of Hearts. I'm totally feeling Mars in this. Love. The watery emotions. And the eight is a dance, right? We've got the eight. Turn it on its side and it's an infinity. It's the ever flowing swing of love. Falling in and out of love. Making self-love is building that bridge to your higher self. So that when we are experiencing and flowing in and out of love with other humans in this experience, it's like a safety rope, right? You don't fall to your death when somebody leaves you, or, you know, you have a breakup, or whatever people do. Yeah. So, what is in the north? What is in the ether? What's in the air? The Ace of Wands. Passion. Of course it's in the air. Dude, that prana, that love that gives you butterflies in your stomach. That feeling. One thing I've learned is you can't associate that feeling with attachment to another human. What I have discovered is slinging that lasso, right, and throwing it up into the sun is the way to go. That passion, that prana, that fire, if you're able to harness it, reaps many rewards and a bountiful harvest. This passion, this is the Kundalini snakes. This is vril, chi. This is the energy that makes you feel them awaken when you feel that tingle, right? And the ace is bringing it up here. It's best not to connect this with another human unless the other human is also, you know, doing the same thing. It does Tantra work, right? And Tantra can get dangerous. It can. It can be very dangerous. There's a lot of energy shared subconsciously and physically with practicing physically with another human being. But when you're able to practice this with the gods, it's fun. It's an ace. It's in your mind. It's using the electricity of your imagination, your playfulness, the fantasy world, the game. How do you want to play the game? We have to be grounded, right? We are in this elemental experience, and earth is what grounds us. This is up in the air. Whew. You can get lost in this. It can blow you away. Literally. What is in the ground? What's grounding us is the 7 of Hearts. And the heater kicks off and things shift. The 7 planets. The 7 chakras. To love them is grounding. It's grounding because the directions, the pushing it out and up is also bringing it in and pulling it in. That safety harness that is protecting us. Hey, and sometimes it can be a bungee cord. I mean, you know, you fall. You can fall. I have no desire to bungee jump. But the second Phoenix that flew into my life, he went and did bungee jumping. And so, like, vicariously, you know, he sent me pictures and stuff. Anyway, this connection and love of the planets is your ground. The negative aspects of this can become narcissistic. It's very easy for the energy to go directly to the ego, right? And you have to be careful with that. Your ground is the planets because it's physically it is outside, right? We are here to experience this separation. So they are physically there at the same time as within ourselves. So when we start becoming God, that statement has always made me pause and whoa. That can be dangerous. There is definitely elements of truth in that. And to keep us grounded from flying away into lunacy, we have the planets. We have our astrology. We have our birth chart, right? What the party looked like at that moment is your ground. Moving along. So what's in the east? The sun rises and brings on a new day, and we've got the Jack of Swords. We've got this Pluto. I see you. I mean, you know, he's a bad kid. Young, armed with a sword. Now the sword is forged, right? It's not wild like a wand or a club. It's made. Okay? We're talking here about ascension and growth. This isn't a kid that is kamikaze. It's not Lord of the Flies coming up over the hill. It's a very refined, taught, armored kid. This could be an aspect of Mars as well. That protection, especially when you're working with prana and vril, chi, especially when you start living multidimensionally. There are dangers. This isn't just a white world. This is white and black. And if you don't have that protection from the sun, you know, that eye, like, he's got your back, you know? This young kid is armed and he's got your back. So at the end of the day, in the West, who are we going to crawl into bed with? Of course. The Queen of Diamonds, Venus. I love crawling into bed with Venus. Venus and I went through an interesting dance recently. With her going retrograde, I was like, it was wild. The diamonds, this is also the high priestess. It's Earth, right? It's the queen of Earth. She's grounded, and I mean, it is really cold here. She can be really cold. In Gnosis, I met with the high priestess. You know, I'm showing my ass a little bit, right? She taught me the importance of being reserved and a little bit cold, like not giving it up on the first date. This is an important lesson. Not to fall too quickly, especially when you're doing Tantra work. The energies that you're working with when you start doing Kundalini practices with other human beings, again, needs that protection. Needs it. Or you can end up in a dangerous situation with a lot of icky gunk and ties and emotional craziness, right? So, at the end of the day, to be the high priestess, crawl into bed with yourself. That's what she says. So, I want to thank you so much for watching and being daring enough to explore these things and explore yourself. I've got a lot to offer if you want to check out the stuff that I've got links below to my website, and you know, I've got spiritual journals published on Amazon, and I've got a Patreon account where when you become a patron, you become a part of the family. You become a coma kid without having to actually come to coma, which means that, you know, if you need me, I'm here. We can connect on WhatsApp. I can do card spreads for you. I can do your astrology chart. And calling what I do an astrology reading is a little misleading, because what I do with my readings is I literally dive into your chart and experience it in Gnosis, write down what I see, and send it to you and feel. It's kind of both. So, just yesterday, I had the download of, well, oh my God, I mean, I could do this for kids, right? Like, duh. But I can absolutely write it in more of a childlike way. And I'm really excited to start practicing this. Probably with my daughter first, but I've got some friends with kids, so maybe it can be either read to them or like a storybook, or if I'm able to be around while I'm on tour, I can do that as well. Anyway, so again, thank you for being here. Please Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. The algorithms, it really helps out. And, write a comment. Let me know what you thought. If you have any thoughts, if you have any suggestions, I'd love to know. Thank you so much. In love and light. And don't forget the lube. It makes it slide so much easier. Ciao.